You'll have seen me posting about pre-construction and the importance of this information and the fact that we offer this as a service to our clients, that we will produce a pack which we will tender against and which other builders can also be given this information and they can use it to price your project. Now, it's not difficult collating all this information, but it is quite time consuming. So I thought I'd run through all the different elements that are in pre-construction information that will then give the builder with the drawings all the information that they're needed. So in no particular order, here we go. One of the first pieces of information that I like to have in our pre-construction is the actual aims and objectives of the project, of the work. Is it a house that we're going to be converting into 3 flats for young professionals that of a mid to high spec? Is it going to be a low spec HMO which is going to be on a long-term contract for workers? Is it going to be a family home that's going to be high end? We're going to be adding 2 bedrooms with en suites and we're going to have a tennis court out the back. As I describe each of these individual projects, they create different images in your mind and they already speak to you about the types of finish and standard, and they preempt what is going to be in the rest of the document. And if we can put a nice paragraph together which describes what it is that we're looking for, as well as specifics, like I mentioned about 2 en suites, and know already what's coming ahead, that's a great place to start in my opinion. The second piece of information I like to put in my pre-construction pack is detailed information about the site itself. Not only its location, but also the condition of the existing building. That would include condition of heating, electrics, water. Is the gas coming in? I would also be describing any challenges that I can see around the site. Access points. Are we on a busy road? Are we going to be able to have the skip? What is material delivery is going to be like? Those elements. I would also highlight any essential repairs and upgrades that I would say are going to be would be necessary, relevant of any particular strategy. Do we need to fix the roof? Are there certain floors feeling particularly bouncy and we're going to need floor repair work? I would mention those things in this second part. The third piece of information I like to put in a pre-construction pack is budget and timeline. Now, there'll be some debate as to whether you should be sharing your budget with the end builder, but it's still a vital thing that you as a client need to consider and part of your pre-construction bit. So this is why I bring this up now. You need a defined budget for the project overall, and you need to also establish when you'd like it to be finished by. Sharing when you want it finished by and also your overall budget. You can then split your budget into the different elements and different pieces of work need to be done. If you've got roof work that needs doing at £10,000 and you want to put 2 new en suites in at £6,000 a piece, we're up to 24,000, and we need to landscape the front garden, let's say another £6,000 for that because you want to put a new driveway in. That's going to be tight actually. We're up to £30,000 and you need a new kitchen and your budget is only £32,000, then we know that we're going to have to massage these figures and we're going to have to figure something else out. Maybe adjust how you was going to do the driveway. But that's the point of doing a pre-construction budget, is just to roughly carve out the figures into pockets to budgets for different aspects and get a feel for if what you're asking the builder to price is actually going to be a thing. The fourth element is your design intention. This is where you would put any architect's drawings, any structural engineer's drawings and calculations, as well as, let's say, mood boards for how you want certain spaces to feel. But you can also go, because this detail will be needed, and if an element is important to you, then you need to list it and you need to make it clear. As part of this design element of the pre-construction information, you basically need to be going room by room, starting with what covering do I want on the floor? What skirting board do I want? Are we keeping the existing skirting board or are we changing it? Architraves, are we renewing the architraves? Door, are we having a new door or keeping the existing door? Handles, hinges, light fixtures, sockets, paint on the walls, coving, ceiling, every element potentially needs to be considered if it's important to you. If you're not too bothered about it, then potentially these things can be interpreted from your original design brief. But like I say, if it's important, you need to be listing it now links to products. Is there a particular bath you want or a shower you want? There you go, that's the bath I want. There's no debate then from the builder of giving an allowance for the bath. That is the bath I wanted. Thank you. Yes, that is the shower I wanted. There is the shower screen. These are the tiles I want. If you list all these things in your pre-construction information, room by room by room, everything is crystal clear, and a good builder will love you for it. The fifth element is quality standards and expectations. Again, really handy, something that's often not really written down, but is implied. If you set clear expectations regarding the standard of the finish, the standard of the materials, the quality of the workmanship that you are expecting, which can vary from project to project depending on what you are doing, and also will affect the price, will affect how long it takes to paint something, how long it will take to tile something. So mention that now. The sixth element of pre-construction information that I think is worth mentioning is regulatory requirements. Let's call it that. Is the building in a conservation area, or is it listed? Are there any covenants on the property restricting its use or how it's going to be developed? Well worth looking into those before any work starts. Dead handy to know if there's no Saturday working allowed and if everyone's got to pack up by 4. These things can affect how long a project can take, and well worth digging into before anything starts. The seventh element in pre-construction information is all around communication and decision making. Setting out how you expect project progress to be reported to you. Are you expecting a weekly roundup report once a week? Are you expecting to see site diaries from every single day? Are you expecting pop round and have a visit once every 2 weeks? To set these expectations now is a really good idea. Also around variations. If something occurs that's unexpected and costs, let's say, under £100, are we just going to give them the green light just to bloody get on with it? Or do we want them to detail in a variation report exactly what it's going to be and how much it's going to cost so that you can then sign it off? Clarity around this, again, before you start, will be fantastic for any builder. The eighth and final element to consider as part of the pre-con information is risk management and insurance. And when I say risk management, I'm not particularly speaking from a health and safety point of view. I am talking about the deliverables on the project itself. For example, if you have picked a very nice wall-hung sink that's going to come all the way from Italy with a 6-week lead time, there is an element of risk associated with that we need to know about so that we can program in plenty of time in advance for when that sink is going to be delivered. It's going to be checked when it arrives to make sure it's not damaged. If it is damaged, are we going to be able to get a replacement fairly quickly, or are these things manufactured built to order? That is a risk which you as the client might actually choose a different product because of those risks. We might decide that risk is too big, or we put certain things in place to make sure that the risk is minimized. One of our sites, we are not able to take big bulk bags of materials, so sand is having to be delivered in 25 kilogram bags. There is an additional cost associated with having blooming sand in 25 kilogram bags. Identified early as part of the pre-con, we're able to build that into the price, and nobody's coming to the client as we start the job saying, oh, we've just realised you ain't got any space, mate. The sand's going to cost us a load more, we're going to be charging you more. It's all taken into account. So everything that I have told you about, all these 8 elements of pre-con, put all that together in one meaty document. It takes time, but all these things need considering as part of project. Get them thought about, the calmness before work actually starts. These things considered in the calmness before work actually starts, and everybody's life will be so much easier. The project will get delivered a lot less stress. Hope you've enjoyed my 8 tips to a decent pre-con. Good luck with your project.